They told you whole grain toast was healthy, that orange juice in the morning is part of a balanced breakfast, and that a quick bowl of multigrain cereal is the smart, responsible choice for men over 60. But what if I told you? Those very foods, those trusted, familiar breakfast habits, could be tightening your arteries, raising your blood pressure, and slowly starving the blood flow right where you need it most, in your pelvic region? Let me ask you this. Have your mornings changed lately? Are your legs colder? Are you feeling a little less steady on the stairs? Or has something else gone quiet, like your morning wood, your energy, your motivation to move? Most men assume this is just aging. Slowing down is normal, they say. But what if it's not? What if the real issue is what's on your plate, within the first hour of waking up? See, the truth is, what you eat first thing in the morning sends a powerful signal to your blood vessels, especially the ones that supply your heart, your legs, and yes, your manhood. And if you're eating the wrong combination of healthy foods, you might be unknowingly shutting down circulation to the very tissues that rely on that early blood flow. You see it all the time in health magazines. Start your day right, with a photo of orange juice, cereal, toast. But for men over 60, those options might be doing the exact opposite of what your body needs. Let me introduce you to Dan. He's 67, retired firefighter, strong, proud, and used to being in control. For years, Dan started his mornings with what he believed was a heart-healthy meal, whole grain toast with peanut butter and a tall glass of orange juice. No sugar cereals, no donuts, just clean eating. But by the time he reached his mid-60s, Dan noticed something slipping. First, it was that familiar warmth missing from his morning routine. Then came the stiffness in his legs, the heavy fatigue that seemed to settle in before lunch. His doctor offered pills, but Dan didn't want a Band-Aid. He wanted answers. And what we found was eye-opening. It wasn't his age. It wasn't his testosterone. It was his breakfast. In this video, I'm going to show you the 3 most common healthy breakfast foods that are quietly blocking circulation down there. Not only that, I'll show you what to eat instead. Simple swaps that restore blood flow naturally, with science to back every bite. Because after 60, every meal counts, and the first one you eat each day, it's either helping your arteries stay open or closing them in silence. If you've ever felt like something's slipping, but can't quite explain it, stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's really going on and how to turn it around one morning at a time. I'm Dr. Lily Anderson, and for the past 23 years, I've worked with thousands of men over 60, many just like Dan, who felt something changing in their bodies but couldn't find straight answers. Men who were told it's just part of aging, or worse, were handed a prescription without ever being asked about their diet, their daily routine, or what they put in their body within the first hour of the day. What I've seen in my practice over and over again is that male vitality, especially after 60, is not just about hormones or genetics. It's about blood flow. And blood flow begins with what you eat. I'm not here to sell you a miracle food or scare you with medical jargon. I'm here to give you something far more valuable, clarity. Because when you understand how your body really works, what it needs, what it reacts to, and what it can still recover from, you stop feeling like a victim of your age. You start feeling like yourself again. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 of the most common health foods men over 60 are eating every morning. Foods that are quietly sabotaging circulation to your legs, your core, and yes, your intimate areas. Then I'll show you exactly what to eat instead. These aren't exotic superfoods or expensive powders. They're real, affordable ingredients that work with your biology, not against it. By the time you finish this video, you'll understand how small changes at breakfast can create measurable improvements in blood flow, energy, and even your confidence in just a few weeks. So if you've been told to just accept it, I'm here to tell you the opposite. Your body still knows how to heal. You just need to give it the right tools, and those tools begin at the breakfast table. Let's break the silence around male circulation and call out the myths that are keeping you tired, frustrated, and disconnected from the life you deserve. It's time to take back your mornings, one smart bite at a time. Mistake number 1, whole grain toast with margarine. It sounds healthy, doesn't it? Whole grain toast, fiber-rich, low-fat, recommended by nearly every heart-healthy guideline. But here's the truth no one tells you. For men over 60, whole grain toast, especially when paired with margarine, can quietly set off a chain reaction that works against your circulation, especially the kind of circulation that matters most below the belt. Let's break it down. First, the toast. Most commercially available whole grain breads are ultra-processed. Even if the label says whole wheat, they often contain refined flours, preservatives, and added sugars to improve texture and shelf life. These ingredients trigger blood sugar spikes, which lead to a flood of insulin, a hormone that, when elevated repeatedly, damages the lining of your arteries. This lining, known as the endothelium, is critical for producing nitric oxide, the very molecule your body uses to expand blood vessels and send oxygen-rich blood where it's needed, including the pelvic region. But the real trouble starts when men spread margarine on top. Margarine is usually made from industrial seed oils like soybean, canola, or corn oil. Even the heart-healthy versions often contain hydrogenated or interesterified fats, types of processed fat that have been shown in clinical studies to stiffen blood vessels, raise inflammation, and suppress nitric oxide production. For a man in his 60s or 70s whose nitric oxide levels are already naturally declining, this breakfast combo is like pouring glue into the bloodstream. It slows things down, raises arterial tension, and over time can reduce blood flow to the legs, the heart, and the groin. So what's the better option? Swap the toast and margarine combo for something that feeds your arteries instead of clogging them. Try a slice of sprouted grain bread or 100% rye bread, both lower in glycemic index and richer in real fiber, with a thin layer of avocado. Avocado provides monounsaturated fats, potassium, and magnesium, nutrients that relax arteries, support nitric oxide, and protect endothelial function. Even better, add a sprinkle of chia or hemp seeds on top for an extra dose of anti-inflammatory omega-3s. This one simple shift, ditching the toast and margarine combo, can begin to open the door to better blood flow in just a few weeks. And for many of my patients, this is where their journey back to vitality truly begins. Mistake number 2, orange juice on an empty stomach. For decades, orange juice has been a breakfast staple. It's bright, sweet, full of vitamin C, right? Not so fast. Drinking orange juice first thing in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, can quietly damage the very blood vessels responsible for circulation down there. Let's talk science. A single cup of store-bought orange juice contains 20 to 25 grams of sugar, with almost zero fiber to slow its absorption. That means within minutes of drinking it, your blood sugar spikes, followed quickly by an insulin surge. For a younger body, that might not be a big deal, but for men over 60, that insulin surge can impair the function of endothelial cells, those same delicate cells lining your arteries that regulate nitric oxide. Over time, repeated spikes in insulin blunt nitric oxide production. The arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, and blood flow to the pelvic region becomes sluggish, just when you need it most. The problem gets worse when you drink juice on an empty stomach. With no fiber, protein, or fat to slow absorption, it hits your bloodstream like a sugar bomb, setting the stage for an inflammatory cascade that disrupts vascular health throughout the body, including your groin. Now, is vitamin C good for you? Absolutely. But the delivery method matters. So what should you do instead? If you love citrus, reach for the whole fruit. An orange, peeled and eaten with a handful of almonds or a scoop of Greek yogurt, gives you the vitamin C and antioxidants without the sugar shock. The fiber in whole fruit slows the absorption of sugar, reducing the spike. And when paired with healthy fats or protein, it helps stabilize your morning energy and supports blood flow rather than suppressing it. Another great swap, fresh lemon squeezed into warm water in the morning. It hydrates your system, supports kidney function, and delivers vitamin C without the sugar crash. In other words, it wakes you up without shutting down your circulation. Mistake number 3, multigrain cereal with skim milk. This one surprises a lot of men. Multigrain cereal sounds like the adult, responsible choice. And skim milk? Low fat, fewer calories. Must be good, right? Not exactly. Most commercial cereals, even the ones labeled multigrain or heart healthy, are made with refined grains, added sugars, and processed corn or soy ingredients. The multigrain label is often just marketing. It doesn't mean the grains are whole or nutrient-dense. Worse yet, when eaten first thing in the morning, these cereals cause a rapid rise in postprandial glucose, your blood sugar after eating, which again disrupts nitric oxide production. Add skim milk into the mix, and you're compounding the problem. Why? Because skim milk lacks the healthy fats your body needs to absorb fat-soluble vitamins, like A, D, and E, all of which are crucial for testosterone metabolism, blood vessel repair, and hormonal balance. Plus, low-fat dairy has been shown in several studies to have a higher glycemic load than full-fat versions. That means more sugar enters your bloodstream faster. And once again, we're talking about inflammation, endothelial stress, and reduced blood flow, especially in the pelvic region. So what's the smarter move? If you enjoy cereal, make your own morning bowl. Try unsweetened oats or steel-cut oats cooked in water, or unsweetened almond milk. Top it with a handful of blueberries, a tablespoon of flaxseed or chia, and a few crushed walnuts. This combo delivers sustained energy, supports nitric oxide production, and gives your blood vessels exactly what they need to stay flexible and responsive. Your breakfast should be more than a habit. It should be your first act of healing for the day. His name was Jerry. He was 71 when he walked into my clinic for the first time. Retired electrical engineer, soft-spoken and sharply dressed, with a quiet frustration written all over his face. Jerry didn't come in because of pain. He came in because he felt like something had faded, and he wasn't sure how to get it back. It's not just energy, he told me. It's like my body's not responding anymore. My mornings feel flat. I still get up at 6, like I've done for 40 years. But something's missing. He hesitated before continuing. I don't feel like myself down there. Not in the morning, not in the evening. I thought it was just age, but now I'm not so sure. I asked him to walk me through a typical day. He smiled. You're going to laugh. I've been eating the same breakfast since 1985. Every morning, 2 slices of whole wheat toast with margarine, a glass of orange juice, and sometimes a bowl of bran flakes with skim milk, the very foods we just talked about. On paper, it sounded reasonable, even healthy. Jerry had chosen those options because decades ago, a doctor told him to eat low-fat, high-fiber, and avoid bacon and eggs. So he did, every single day. And yet, here he was, feeling slow, cold in the hands and feet, and quietly disconnected from his vitality. I explained to him what was happening, how those very breakfast habits were increasing inflammation, damaging his endothelial function, and suppressing nitric oxide, causing blood flow to slow down, especially in the pelvic area. You could see the realization hit him. Not guilt, not shame, just clarity. He leaned back and said, "So you're telling me it's not just in my head? That my food might be part of the reason I feel like this?" I nodded. "Yes, Jerry, and it's something you can change." So we made a plan, nothing extreme. He swapped his toast for a slice of sprouted grain bread with mashed avocado and lemon, replaced the orange juice with warm lemon water or whole fruit, and instead of bran flakes with skim milk, he started cooking steel-cut oats, adding blueberries, chia seeds, and crushed almonds. That was it. 2 weeks later, Jerry emailed me. Subject line, "You were right." He said he felt lighter in the mornings. His legs didn't feel like cement. He wasn't rushing for that second cup of coffee by 9 a.m., and one morning, he noticed something else. "I woke up with that familiar feeling again," he wrote. "It caught me by surprise in the best way. I haven't felt that in years." He wasn't just sleeping better. He felt more in control, more hopeful, and perhaps most powerful of all. He said his wife noticed the difference, without him even having to explain it. Jerry is not some exception. He's not a miracle story. He's simply a man who gave his body the right inputs and let it respond the way it was designed to. Your body wants to heal. It wants to send blood where it's needed. But when we feed it the wrong signals every morning, we block the very thing we're hoping to restore. Jerry's story is a reminder. You're never too old to turn things around. Not with a pill, not with a procedure, but with small, consistent choices, starting at your breakfast table. Let's pull back the curtain for a moment and talk about what's really going on inside your body. Why something as simple as a breakfast swap can lead to real changes in blood flow, stamina, and how you feel in the morning. To understand this, we need to talk about a molecule that quietly rules the world of male health after 60. It's not testosterone. It's not cholesterol. It's something much smaller and much more powerful. It's called nitric oxide. Now, nitric oxide, or NO for short, isn't a supplement. It's a natural compound your body produces to open up blood vessels. It's your body's way of saying, let the blood flow. Every time you want to climb stairs, walk further, or feel more awake down there, nitric oxide is what helps make that possible. It tells your arteries to relax and expand, allowing more blood to move through freely. Think of your arteries like flexible garden hoses. When nitric oxide is working properly, the hoses are wide open, delivering nutrients, oxygen, and energy where needed. But when nitric oxide is low, those hoses shrink. The pressure builds, circulation slows, and the first place that suffers? Often the legs, the brain, and the pelvic region. Now here's the catch. After 60, your body's natural production of nitric oxide can drop by as much as 75%. That means even if your heart is strong and your labs look decent, you may still struggle with cold hands and feet, sluggish energy, or low physical responsiveness. Not because of aging alone, but because your blood flow isn't reaching your muscles and tissues like it used to. And what controls how much nitric oxide you produce? Two things: what you eat and how well your blood vessels are functioning. Let's start with food. Your body needs raw materials to make nitric oxide. Specifically, it needs nitrates from leafy greens, amino acids like L-arginine and L-citrulline from beans and seeds, and polyphenols from colorful fruits like blueberries. These nutrients fuel the nitric oxide pathway, helping your body restore its natural ability to deliver blood where it matters most. But, and this is crucial, your blood vessels also need to be healthy enough to respond. If your arteries are inflamed, clogged, or stiff from years of blood sugar spikes, refined oils, and poor hydration, then nitric oxide can't do its job, even if your body tries to make it. Let's use a simple image. Imagine nitric oxide as a delivery truck. The nutrients you eat are the driver's fuel, but the roads, the arteries, have to be open and smooth. If those roads are full of potholes, debris, or traffic jams, the delivery never makes it. That's what happens when you eat certain healthy breakfast foods that create silent inflammation, like processed cereals, refined breads, sugary juices, or seed oil spreads. They narrow the roads. They damage the endothelial cells lining your arteries. They reduce nitric oxide's ability to act. Now remember Jerry. What we did for him was more than just change breakfast. We gave him the nutrients to make nitric oxide and remove the foods that were blocking its path. Here's how the right breakfast helps. 1. Fiber Plus. Complex carbs like oats and sprouted grains stabilize blood sugar, reduce insulin spikes, and protect the lining of your arteries. 2. Healthy fats like avocado, almonds, chia seeds support hormone balance and help absorb fat-soluble vitamins that repair blood vessels. 3. Nitrate-rich and antioxidant-rich foods like leafy greens and berries directly fuel nitric oxide and protect it from breaking down. Nanga, hydration, lemon water, green tea, supports blood volume and helps your heart pump efficiently without stress. And all of this happens before 9 a.m. When you feed your body the right combination of nutrients early in the day, you activate a vascular repair process. Your arteries begin to relax. Blood starts flowing to the places it used to reach effortlessly. You feel warmer, more energized, and yes, more responsive. And here's something few men are ever told. The tissues in your groin, especially the smooth muscle around your pelvic floor, rely on regular blood flow to stay functional. When blood stops reaching those tissues consistently, they weaken. Over time, you don't just lose function, you lose the confidence that function gives you. But the opposite is also true. When circulation improves, even slightly, those same tissues come back online. Morning wood returns, sensation sharpens, responsiveness improves. And suddenly, you're not wondering, what's wrong with me? You're thinking, I feel like myself again. This isn't magic, it's chemistry. And more importantly, it's reversible. You don't need a perfect diet. You don't need supplements with long, complicated names. What you need is a morning routine that supports nitric oxide, protects your arteries, and avoids the hidden traps disguised as healthy food. Because once nitric oxide starts flowing again, everything else follows. I want you to take a moment and really think about this. What if just one small change tomorrow morning could start bringing your body back to life? Not a huge overhaul, not a complicated diet, just one quiet shift, something so small you could prepare it half asleep. But that small choice becomes the beginning of something bigger. That's the truth about healing. It rarely begins with a grand gesture. It starts with what you choose to put on your plate the moment you wake up. For my patients, the most powerful changes have never come from trying to be perfect. They came from consistency with one small habit, like switching out orange juice for warm lemon water and blueberries, or replacing toast with avocado and a few chia seeds, or cooking steel-cut oats with cinnamon instead of pouring a sugary cereal. These aren't huge moves, but they're signals. Signals to your body that say, we're not giving up. We're going to feed this system, not fight it. We're still in the game. There's one patient I think about often, Samuel, 69. He didn't believe anything would work anymore. He had tried all the pills, bought the books, watched the videos. But he told me, Doc, I'm too old to change. You could see the defeat in his eyes, not just physically, but emotionally. And so I didn't give him a list of rules or foods or warnings. I gave him a question. Can you give yourself just 5 mornings? 5 mornings to try something different. 5 mornings to start with real food, not fake promises. He agreed. He chose oats, berries, chia, a little honey. Nothing fancy. No pills, no pressure. On day 3, he said he already felt less foggy. On day 5, he told me, I don't know what's happening, but my hands aren't cold anymore, and I didn't need a nap this afternoon. Was it perfect? No. But was it proof that his body was still listening? Absolutely. That's all you need to begin. Not proof that everything will change overnight, but proof that your body still responds, that it still wants to fight with you, not against you. And that's why I'm telling you today, you haven't missed your window. You haven't failed. You're not too late. What you're feeling right now, maybe it's regret, maybe it's doubt, maybe it's that quiet flicker of, could this help me too? That's all you need. Let that flicker be your guide. Tomorrow morning, before your coffee, before the day pulls you into 1,000 directions, just try one change. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy. It just has to be yours. A small bowl, a warm mug, a quiet act of care that says, I still want to feel good in my body. I still want to feel strong. I still want to feel alive, down there and everywhere else. You've carried so many responsibilities in your life. You've taken care of others, provided, endured, showed up. Now it's time to turn that care inward, not selfishly, but strategically. Because when you feel better, clearer, warmer, more confident, everyone around you feels it too. Your partner, your kids, your grandkids. They notice when you have that extra spark again, when you're present, when you're you. And that all starts with what's on your fork tomorrow morning. If you've made it this far, I want to say something very simple. Thank you. Not just for watching, but for showing up for yourself today. Because the truth is, most people don't. They click away. They stay busy. They tell themselves, maybe next week. But you stayed. And that tells me everything I need to know about you. You're someone who still cares. Someone who's not ready to give up, even if life has slowed you down. Someone who's quietly looking for real answers, not hype, not quick fixes, but honest, science-backed truth you can use. And that's exactly what this space is for. This channel, this community. It exists because of men like you. Men who've lived through decades of noise, misinformation, and silence around circulation, intimacy, and vitality. Men who deserve clear guidance, without shame, without pressure, without judgment. So here's what I'd love you to do next. First, take a second to reflect on one small thing you'll try tomorrow morning. It might be as simple as skipping the juice and eating a handful of blueberries, or swapping toast and margarine for avocado and lemon, or just drinking warm lemon water instead of diving into caffeine. Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. Why? Because when you write it down, you make it real. And when other men see your comment, it might be the encouragement they need to take that first step, too. This isn't just about circulation. It's about restoring a sense of power in your life. Power that doesn't come from pills or procedures, but from knowing what your body needs and giving it to yourself one day at a time. And if this video gave you hope, insight, or clarity, please share it. Send it to a friend, a brother, a neighbor who might be silently struggling like you were. Because the biggest enemy of male health after 60 isn't age. It's isolation. It's silence. And you never know who's waiting quietly for someone to say, "You're not broken. You're not alone. There's a way forward." If you'd like to keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking steps towards stronger circulation and renewed vitality, hit subscribe. That way, every week, you'll get new insights from me. Real science, real stories, and real solutions for men who want to thrive in their later years. But more than anything else, just promise yourself you'll begin. Not perfectly, not all at once. Just begin. You are still writing your story. And tomorrow morning, that first bite, that first sip, that's your next chapter. You've got this. We're with you, and I'll see you in the next video.